I'm going to show you the end of the game between Timur Radjabov and Vladimir Fedoseev from round 9 of the Tata Steel tournament. Looks quite a dry position, but I can assure you this is very sweet. Just watch out for this. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. You'll find the button down there, and if you want to support us, then you'll find the links to PayPal and Patreon.com up there somewhere, and maybe even down there too. I'm sure you'll find it. So let's take a look at this game. Seems very dry, but well, let's see what happens. White has an active rook, which looks nice, attacking this pawn. Fedoseev gave a check. King came back. Now, if rook takes pawn, then just simplifies. That's going to be a draw. The rook will go behind the pawn. Nothing doing there. But Fedoseev wanted to play on. I mean, there aren't really any grounds for playing on here, but okay, he went on. And now Radjabov has this typical dilemma. Should the king go up or should the king go back? I actually don't see what's wrong with putting the king back on f2, just keeping this pawn protected. But he went up the board. And the rook came to b3 to protect the pawn here. Rook came across to hit the other weakness here, which was defended by the king, and the rook came back again. So nothing happening. And a check from the rook. And the rook hit the pawn. I see nothing wrong with coming back to b8 to keep tabs on this pawn, and I think this should just be a draw. But Radjabov, for some reason, played rook g8. So rook takes pawn, and that defended this pawn. Now, even though Radjabov is a pawn down here, actually it's not a big deal. This should still just be a draw because his pieces are so active. Black doesn't have a passed pawn, and he has two pawns that need taking care of. And also, Black's king isn't very active. So the position was repeated, king f7, and the rook came to attack this weakness here, a check, and Fedoseev brought his rook back. Now, you could say that that's a little bit of an improvement for Black's position, because at least from here the rook manages to protect both those pawn weaknesses. Nevertheless, with both White's pieces so active, there doesn't seem to be any particular danger here for White, and there shouldn't be. King came across, rook g8, just keeping tabs on that pawn. A check, and the king shuffled across. No danger. And here I don't see what's wrong with simply rook b8. And well, let's have a look. Rook b8, the king comes across, and then simply the rook goes back to g8, just maintaining this active position. Must be a draw. But Radjabov was obviously looking for something absolutely clear-cut. He didn't want to wait. He was wanting something that led straight to a draw, and that's dangerous in endgames. You need Sitzfleisch in order to draw this position, and to win it too. So he looked for something immediate. He gave a check. The king came up, which is a definite improvement, and the rook came back. Now, maybe he just thought that the king has to go back again. He'd obviously seen that this was possible, but thought that he was drawing with this move, rook c8, because obviously the king can't go up. So the rook has to interpose. So he exchanged and played the king into f6. Now, I'll leave it to you. If you want to pause the video and have a little think, How should black play in this position? Black to play, what is the best continuation? I'll leave it a little bit longer, but as I said, you can pause the video and try and work it out yourself. b5. Of course, black has to create a passed pawn because white was threatening to take and queen the f-pawn. So b5. Radjabov took. And now after Fedoseev's next move, Radjabov resigned. It was not king takes pawn. Let's just have a quick look at king takes pawn. I repeat, this did not happen because in this case, both sides will queen their pawns. We might as well just go right to the end. And here, that's going to end in a draw. But let's go back. What Radjabov had overlooked was that king to d6 is a winning move. Very easy to overlook at the end of a long game. This is already move 84. Maybe you're short of time, or maybe you're just frustrated, you lose your nerve, you want to cut to a quick draw. But king d6 is winning. Let's see how. King takes pawn. Ready to push the f-pawn through. The a-pawn advances. The f-pawn advances. So we're racing to the queening squares. And here, you don't make a queen, of course, then white will make a queen, but you play king e7, preventing queening. And if king g7, then you make a queen, and that is check. That's the trick. That's why he played king to d6. Now, there are other variations. For example, you could try to push the b pawn, but it doesn't work. For example, b6. Push the a pawn. And white is just too slow. Queen. And if f7, then we put the queen there, and that is game over. There we go. Other variations. I think that's basically it. There's white has nothing here. He's a day late and a dollar short in all variations. This is a well-known trick in king and pawn endgames. Let me just show you a very nice study from Duras that was composed in 1905, and this illustrates this theme perfectly. So it's white to play. Again, you might want to just pause the video and have a little think how white wins from this position. There's only one way to win. Let me show you how not to win first. So if king c4, making room for the b pawn, but this one is in vain because black's king comes across, and that's a draw. So king c4 is a mistake. However, king c5 is the winning move. Now, if the black king tries to come across, you push the pawn, and now here's the crucial bit. You get your king in. Now, if the pawn advances, then the king comes across, but we play the king to b7. The g-pawn starts to steam down the board, but it's too late. And we queen with check before this one. And another very important variation after king c5. What happens if black charges the g-pawn down the board? Let's take a look. g5. White pushes. And now the king comes back. And you're going to see something remarkably similar to the game that we just looked at between Radjabov and Fedoseev. And here, pawn is ready to queen, but white plays king f2, and after king h2, we queen with check. That is the trick. And so white wins. Beautiful. Actually, I included that on my DVD, Practical Pawn Endgames. There we are. You can take a look at that. I've got a different haircut there, but in spite of that, it's still a very good DVD in my opinion. Also available as a download. You can find a link up there or down there, or, well, you'll find it somewhere or after I finish this vid. Available from the ChessBase shop. I would recommend it. Practical Pawn Endgames. That's what you need. So there we go. I should say, in the main, well, for the race for the title, we still have Carlsen and Anand out in front. They drew in round 9, but they were joined by Jan Nepomniachtchi, who managed to defeat Vidit in quite a nice game, but I thought that was more interesting, frankly. Thanks for watching, and don't forget you can see more games from Tata Steel in my Tata Steel tournament playlist up there or down there somewhere. Don't know. You'll find the link. Thanks for watching.